Today's episode of Blow Jam is brought to you by Lola. Get $5 off your first month at trymylola.com/blow. Hey buddies, it's Blow Jam presents PODSMASH, the podcast that reviews podcasts. Thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Delia Blowjam, and with me is my co-host and drunk robot, Ryan Blowjam.
Heyo, beep boop boop beep. Drunk robot.
Drunk robot.
Yeah, last couple episodes I've been overdoing it with the notes, and I just kind of sound robotic and not very, I don't know.
Yeah. You're off to a great start. No, but yeah, like you got mad notes and you were just reading them, and it's like, you know, every time we come home from work and we talk to each other, we always talk about podcasts. What'd you listen to? This was good. So we're just bringing that to you guys. Our dinner table discussions, discourse, natural conversations. Speaking of natural conversations, I want to converse with Ryan and let you guys know about our upcoming live Blow Jam the Band show. It's next weekend, June 9th at Subterranea. It's super underground that you have to message me for the address.
And don't go to it because we're going to suck.
That's absolutely not true. We're gonna be really, really good. We practiced yesterday because we have songs, but we also just do jams. So, I mean, it's kind of whipping our balls out to just play something that we never played before. But I love our group. We're going to be good. We're solid. We're brothers. So, yeah, if you're in the Binghamton area, hit me up, message me on the social medias, and I'll give you the address. It's also a vegan barbecue. And you don't have to be vegan to like vegan food. So, all right, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, they're going to grill up some carrots and put them in hot dog buns. And
no.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, no, like Michelle, she does all the food. It's so fucking good. I'm not a vegan, but I can get down with that. Anyway, oh my gosh, we're here to talk about podcasts. So Ryan and I, we have the good authority to tell you what's listen-worthy, what might not be worth your time. We listen to podcasts all day long. We've seen like 12 podcasts live, and the list just keeps going. I'm going to be flat out honest with everybody. I could not listen to podcasts this week. My work was too crazy. So I'm just going to be kind of listening to Ryan. Ryan's got the lead on this. So first segment, top 3, it's called Feed Me. Ryan, what was good in your feed this week?
All right, my number 1 was Intercepted. It's a political podcast with host Jeremy Scahill. The episode is called A Coup Against the First Amendment. It was about how the government is prosecuting a publisher for printing truthful information. It's, Julian Assange. You know how he got extradited, and now they're trying to prosecute him. And if he does, it's like a bad deal because it's going to be like, it's going to criminalize journalism itself, you know.
They're labeling him as a spy and not a journalist.
So that means, but if they do that, it's if you go after the publisher, it's going to be like they can go after the New York Times and go after Washington Post. It's like if they print something that the government doesn't like, they could just prosecute them too. So
under the First Amendment as we know it, and then sources will be too afraid to come out.
Yeah, and we have to fight against it. It's not good the way it's going.
The Intercepted is a really great podcast.
Yeah.
They don't sugarcoat anything, and it's like nothing is sacred. Even though they're leftists, they were critical of Obama and still are. They just lay it down, the truth. I gotta listen.
It's pretty good. You got one?
Yeah. So what I was able to listen to this week, Unexplained with host Richard McLean Smith. This was a really good episode. Unexplained is like paranormal or, phenomenons that cannot be explained. And this one was really, really sad. It was in coal country in the UK, and there were just mounds and mounds of debris and shit that they dug up out of the ground. and it rained and rained for days, and there was like a mudslide or a slide, but like everybody could see it coming, like in their dreams, and all these kids like knew what was gonna happen, but then everybody dismissed them as like bad dreams or whatever.
They had like a group vision?
Yeah, like so many people, kids and adults, they had dreams, they were just saying shit out of nowhere, and they saw it happen.
I didn't listen to that one.
You really should. Everybody,
should've.
yeah, definitely check this one out.
It's in my feed, I just didn't get to it.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's really crazy. It was a good one.
Oh shit.
Thanks, Richard.
Check that one out. So my second one is comes from American History Tellers. It's a history podcast from the Wondery Podcast Network, hosted by Lindsey Graham. The episode is called The Tulsa Race Massacre, The Promised Land Part 1. Between 1838 and 1890, thousands of African Americans moved to Oklahoma. Black pioneers established towns where African Americans could govern themselves. Out of the movement came the wealthiest African American community. It was born in 1921 in the neighborhood it's in the neighborhood of Greenwood, and it was known as Negro Wall Street. Quotes. I wouldn't call it that. You know, stay woke.
So it was part 1?
Yeah, and but in May 1921, a young shoeshine boy stepped into an elevator with a white girl. It sparked the worst racial violence in like American history, and it's been like a secret. It's been covered up for like decades.
I never heard of it until
no one's
I
ever
listened.
heard of these Tulsa Race Massacre. It's like
everybody should know about it. I'm gonna get it on blast. It's I don't know. It's like along the lines of Trail of Tears, and
it's pretty horrendous.
Yeah, it's just straight up massacres.
Yeah, like they had these autonomous like black communities that were like thriving.
They had, you know, from the emancipated South, they had really nowhere to go to be free.
Yeah, and then a black kid just goes in an elevator with a white girl and like touches her arm.
By accident.
And she cries like rape, and then yeah,
it's so messed up.
You can guess what happened.
Well, yeah, and like it's really about the rise of it, you know.
Yeah.
But could you imagine if that worked out? It would, like, we would be in a different country right now, you know, for...
Yeah, there'd be, like, black communities that were thriving and white communities that are. And, like,
socioeconomic, it would be, like, on equal footing.
Yeah, it could be a lot better right now.
That's so sad.
It really is, yeah.
Man, black people. Sucks. I'm with you. I'm a black man.
Yeah, people gotta... Yeah, you gotta learn about this, man.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't believe that it's been covered up for almost 100 years. It's ridiculous. So thank you, American History Tellers, and that's a good choice.
Yep. So do you have another one, or?
I do. Oh, and as a matter of fact, I couldn't sleep last night, so that's what I listened to before I went to bed, and then I dreamt about the apocalypse. My next one is Harmontown, and I'll tell you what, guys, like, I really like to check out new stuff. I'm kind of hitting up my old favorites just because, like, my work is so crazy, I couldn't listen. Like, normally I could listen when I run reports and things, but I'm just talking to people all day, so please forgive me for my lack of diversity. This one is Harmontown, with Dan Harmon as the mayor, Jeff Davis, comptroller, and Spencer Crittenden is the dungeon master. And they actually played D&D. They used to always do it at the end of every show, and then they stopped for months, and then they got back into it. So, like, the last half hour, 45 minutes, some solid D&D shit, like farming potatoes, is mad funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, so I'll leave it at that. Good show.
There's, like, live role-playing, being on a farm, making potatoes.
It sounds like it wouldn't be funny, but they're expert improvisers, so it is good.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
How about you? What's your last one?
Also, my third one is It Could Happen Here. It's a podcast where host Robert Evan breaks down what would happen if there actually was like a second American Civil War. The episode I listened to was called The End of the United States of America. The United States, as we know it, is going to end. And, you know, it's gonna. He breaks down what we can do to make it better than before, if it does. And because that's one good thing that could happen. Like, we'll have a chance to, like, rebuild it and, like, correct all the mistakes that were there before.
Yeah, and refine it for the modern day.
Yeah, and he's talking about, like, what you would have to do. Like, most of the people would, like, probably be, like, a mass exodus. People would migrate up north. Everyone would be in Canada because climate change is going to affect it, too.
Mm-hmm.
And, he tells you what you need to get, stuff like that to prepare for it. He literally gives you like a guide. He's like, he tells you where to buy stuff. Like, you gotta get 3 months supply of food. You can buy these buckets from this website.
Wow.
He's really telling you how to prepare for it. And if he really thinks that, I don't know, I'm a little scared now.
Actually, earlier today, Ryan and I devised a plan about everything's really hinging on 2020 for the regular average working class person, which Ryan and I fall under that category. And if things don't look up, we're skipping town. We're going back to the motherland. We're going to Ireland. So we're gonna look into the process for work visas, and we're skilled workers, so we could definitely get jobs over there.
I'm not sure how their economy is doing, but I could tell they seem to be doing a lot better than over here. Because like,
I can't afford our health insurance. It's 1/3 of my paycheck.
Like, they legalized abortion, and they and we're going the opposite way over here. And they're the first to like legalize gay marriage, right? Like,
I don't know about that, but for an extremely Catholic country, that's pretty progressive and democratic, socialist.
Yeah,
and
it's becoming more progressive than America, so I gotta maybe just go back there.
Yeah, however, I am
worried. It's not a better life, huh?
Brexit and just, the troubles and everything. It's pretty crazy over there, but I'll take that than what we could potentially be facing here. So, Ireland.
The apocalypse.
Yep. Everyone's going to go to Canada. We're going to go to Ireland, but we'll have our shit ready to go. So we're ahead of the mass exodus that will follow.
Hopefully.
Yeah. That's the plan.
Or hopefully Trump just gets out of office and we get someone who's going to turn this thing around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sinking ship.
We need someone to drive this bus. We need someone to smack those kids in the back seat.
Uh-huh.
I'll turn this thing around.
Have you ever had to do an emergency evacuation on a school bus?
Only as like practice.
Oh, okay. I had to for real, and Ryan's heard this story a million times, but I'll tell you guys. We were coming back from a field trip. It was the end of the school year, 6th grade. We went to Camp Crosby, which my math teacher was like a camp counselor there. It was really weird. And we were driving back. It was a good day swimming and stuff. And there were 2 buses. I was in the second bus. And for some reason, the driver wasn't paying attention and drove straight into a ditch to where we were like 90 degrees on our side. We actually had to climb out of the emergency things up through the top and the back. It was awesome. It was really cool. And like, I was listening to the Goo Goo Dolls, of course, and I was all out of it, mad tired, and I didn't realize what happened. And suddenly I'm on top of my best friend Megan, like, what's going on? And she's like, the bus tipped over. The bus tipped over. Just like that. She turned into an old lady.
She turned into Scarlet from Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. By the way, Megan, if you're listening, I fucking love you. She's tearing ass in Afghanistan. That's all I'll tell you. She's the coolest. All right. See you, Megan. Love you. Oh, shit, it's my turn, right? I'm just, like, babbling.
Yeah, unless you want to take a break.
Is it time for a break?
Do you have a third one, or?
Do I have a third one? I'm just checking my records. Let me pull up my system. Looking through my saved episodes. And, The Daily, once again, had a really riveting episode about, it's called Death, Profit, and Disclosure at a Children's Hospital. UNC in North Carolina Children's Hospital. They were going in for like fairly routine cardiological procedures, and kids were dying, and they should not be dying from these, relatively easy procedures. And the hospital won't disclose the information. The chief surgeon was just like non-existent. A transplant doctor. All right, so a transplant became available for a kid with a heart problem, needed a heart transplant. The on-call surgeon just decided not to show up, so the kid couldn't get the transplant. You know how hard it is to get a fucking heart? So it's intense. It just really pissed me off. And also, there's they actually interviewed one family that was directly affected by it, and it was so sad. So I'm like all about problems in the healthcare field and everything. So this was an eye-opener. UNC, bunch of fuckers.
Yeah, I think some of these doctors got some God complex problems.
Yes.
Maybe they shouldn't get paid so much, and maybe they'll take their job more seriously.
Yo,
don't keep throwing them like thousands. Like, I don't know how much they make, man. They make a lot, right?
Yeah, like hundreds of thousands. But here's the deal. Yeah. So it's the cardiac surgeons. The cardiologists can't do the surgery. They just diagnose and treat and everything. So they got into a meeting and they were like, there's something seriously wrong. They're like, I don't even want to refer my patients to go to surgery at this hospital. And they legit said those exact words, which is, these surgeons are playing God. Like, how do they have the right?
That's fucked up.
And the doctors there, one of them secretly recorded the conversation and then recorded the conversation with the chief of the hospital. And they were talking about, like, budget stuff. Like, if they shut down the surgery center, then they're going to lose money. It's all about money. And little children are dying. So if you want to be pissed off, listen to that one, The Daily, with host Michael Barbaro.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so sad. On that note, you want to talk some ads? You want to listen to an ad? I know you do.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, ladies. What's up, girls? Let's have a little chat about feminine care and how Lola's 100% hypoallergenic cotton tampons and subscription service gives you peace of mind when it comes to your period. As someone who suffers from PMDD, which is PMS on steroids, I can't stress enough that it's nothing to be dismissed. The physical and psychological pain is real, and don't let anyone dismiss it as just being moody. Ladies should talk about their periods and destigmatize it. That's why I'm so happy that Blowjam is sponsored by Lola. They don't cure the pain, but they definitely make it that time of the month easier and less worrisome. Now, when it comes to tampon brands, the FDA doesn't require them to disclose a comprehensive list of ingredients. So it's free rein to use synthetic ingredients like rayon and polyester, and harsh chemical cleansing agents and fragrance and dyes. Every woman should worry about the shit that they're putting inside of our pussies each month. But Lola is 100% cotton with BPA-free applicators. And I especially like the subscription service. I'm too scatterbrained to remember to buy tampons until it's too late. But I get my Lola delivered in the mail, and I can choose my assortment of light, regular, and super. I choose my quantity of boxes and frequency of delivery. You can skip, change, or cancel anytime. So for you, the listeners of Blowjam, Lola is offering $5 off your first month when you go to trymylola.com/blow. Again, that's trymylola.com/blow to get $5 off your first month. Welcome back.
I love ads.
Me too. And we already recorded the second half of the show, but our SD card was full. So let's do it again. Bigger and better than last time.
So that was pretty great. We did like the whole thing, and then
we like played music and did songs and had a great time. So now we get to do it again.
We're like, oh, it didn't record.
All right. Well, every time we come back from the break, we talk about news in the podcast universe. Ryan, you're our newscaster. You're our anchor. You're our Lenny Stanhope. What's his name?
Oh, it's Larry Stackhouse.
Oh, Lenny Stackhouse.
Larry?
No, Lenny.
It's not Lenny.
Fuck you.
It's Terry Stackhouse.
Oh, Terry. That's why.
Terry Stackhouse.
He is the Time Warner news anchor. He looks like he was born to be a news anchor.
Yeah, he's based out of Syracuse. He's got like that perfect
coiffed hair,
and like if you saw him working at McDonald's, you'd be like, you need to be on the news, man.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, he's right where he needs to be.
He was born for that job.
And he has an anchorman name. I mean, Lenny Stackhouse.
Terry Stackhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Giving them different names. All right.
Okay, well, yeah, what's up with the news?
All right, so Luminary. I guess it did not have a very good reception when it launched.
Go figure.
They did $100 million launch, and what they did, they forgot to. They really didn't advertise that there was still going to be like a free platform, like every other podcast platform.
They just advertised the $7.99 premium shit.
They kind of fucked themselves.
That's done.
So Joe Rogan, I think he was the first one. He boycotted them and he's like, you can't have my RSS feed, and then
I'm sure his buddies will follow suit. T-Fat K, Diovine, Crystalia.
In the Anchor Network, which we're on.
Mm-hmm.
Gimlet Media, the New York Times, Parcast, Spotify. They're all withholding the shows. So, New York Times is the daily.
Yeah.
It's all the huge podcasts, all the Parcast, all the Spotify shit. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Gimlet Media is Reply All and all the Science Versus and all them other really popular ones. So basically, how's Luminary going to convince listeners to pay for a traditionally free product?
They're just trying to turn podcasts into cable TV.
Pretty much, yeah. So
whether
or not they prevail is going to change the history of podcasts. It's going to change how things work. So hopefully they don't succeed. Shots fired.
Well, keep listening to PodSmash because we're keeping you updated every week on Luminary. It will be the end of podcasting as we know it should they succeed. So boycott Luminary. Fuck them.
Yeah, so there's going to be Guys We Fucked and History on Fire. They went over there and the first episode of Guys We Fucked, Corinne Fisher got so drunk that people complained about it. She was just so worried about the bad reception of Luminary.
Yeah, she was too anxious, so she had to let loose.
I feel bad for Denali Bilali and the History on Fire.
Yeah, but they made their choice, it was money.
They made your bed, man.
Which I understand. If you can make more money doing your art, then do it.
I get it.
But, yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
See how that goes. All right.
So let me talk.
Segment?
I do. It's a little ditty about my podcast engagement. So nothing big like how I got on the Savage Love cast. That was insane. I'm still plugging along. I keep calling Bunny Ears, Macaulay Culkin's podcast, and leaving voicemails there and where I pretend to be child actors. Because, he would pretend to be Devon Sawa and made Devon Sawa t-shirts. Now he's JTT. And so I keep calling. I was Elijah Wood one time. I was Jonathan Brandis calling from the grave, the kid from Ladybugs. And this time I was
Brandis.
And this time I was Brad Renfro, who is also dead. So it's you know what?
Who's Brad Renfro?
I forget what
he even on.
I forget, but I had
obscure,
I had a poster of him in my room. He was a little hottie, but.
Why don't you try Neil Patrick Harris or Fred Savage?
It's got to be guys right at the same time as Culkin, as Max. So I don't know. I think it's not working out because I'm not a guy. I'm hi, I'm Brad Renfro, calling from the grave. It doesn't work. I should have you do it. So tried that, and then Dapper Dads. So I called the Dapper Dads podcast hotline. They're a really crass duo. And they drink lots of Natty Ice and Natty Light and what have you.
No, Natty Daddy's the actual...
The ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I fucking called, and I left a voicemail about oh, Natty Light, you ever tried Natty Ice? Oh, Natty Ice is a Natty Daddy.
And it says Natty Daddy on the can.
Yo, but the thing is I don't drink bad beer. I'm a beer snob.
I know, but Natty Ice is the 12. If you want the pints... You get a 6-pack of the pints, right? The 16 ounces.
Yeah.
The pounders.
The donkey dicks.
And they say Natty Daddy on them. And the difference is they're 8%. So
yeah.
It's even more than the ice. So
I fucked up. But what else I did was I challenged them to a friendly East Coast Midwest podcast beef thing rappers would do. And so and I asked them to call our Blow Jam headquarters tip line at 607-296-7297. And maybe because I left such an offensively ignorant voicemail, they might take the bait and give us a call.
Maybe they'll school you on Natty Daddies.
I actually expect nothing less. But they're really funny. They're maybe one of the most vulgar podcasts out there. If you're a woman, you might not like it. I'm just saying. But
I only know about Natty Daddies because I worked at a coworker. He would go buy them on his lunch break every time.
oh, that's gross.
No, but then he'd put them in his car, like. But it was like a 6-pack of Natty Daddies and like 16 ounce, like 8%. I'm like, are you drinking rocket fuel, man? Jeez, it's a bit much. It's like a double IPA, but probably nasty.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I can only imagine. So that's it for me and my podcast engagement. Now, Ryan, you have a regular segment and also a theme song for it. Let me grab your mic.
Oh, yeah,
I got this for you. Here we go. Short and sweet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was good.
So these like new podcasts. Well, new to me. I don't know if they're new. I just heard about them. But number one is AI, hype versus reality. It's a show about AI. So it's true or not about AI, I guess. And it's hosted by Jessica Chobot, or Chobot, however you want to. I don't know how to pronounce it. The episode I listened to was called AI That Drives. It's about self-driving cars. She took a ride in an autonomous car from Dell Technologies. The car was named Zeus. And they talk about like integrated roadways and like smart pavement.
Smart pavement?
Which is basically like turning the road into like a touchpad where it can communicate with the car. And that way you could just like get rid of like steering wheels and like brake and gas pedals. It'd be like a more affordable, cheap car to make. That would just be like communicating with the road.
Wow, that's pretty innovative. I imagine it'd be costly.
Probably,
we're already having a hard time with regular infrastructure, but that's actually a really cool idea.
Well, if you're gonna have to like redo all the infrastructure, you might as well do like smart roads, right?
Yeah, why stick? Yeah.
Eventually, you could just have like a smart city. Like you could have lampposts communicating with like telephone poles and roads communicating with cars.
Yeah.
Sidewalks communicating with sneakers.
And rollerblades.
And rollerblades. Only rollerblades.
All right. Well, I'll check that one out. What's it called again?
It's called AI Hype versus Reality.
All right. Sounds good to me. You got a couple more, right?
Yeah, I got 2 more. Next one's called I Said Goddamn. It's a true crime comedy podcast. It's hosted by Stacy and Aaron. They don't give their last names because they want to remain anonymous.
Who cares?
I don't blame them. But
we don't give our last names.
Well, the episode's called Satan's Galaxy and a Shitty Vampire. Stacy tells a story about Mark Dobson. He thought he was under the orders from like the gods of hell to participate in a murder/suicide. It's crazy. Like he was dating this one girl, Mary, and she had a friend named Helen, and she actually thought she was like Satan's lover. This guy's wicked satanic, and they're all into Satan and stuff. So they made like this crazy like suicide pact. But they think like Satan lives in a separate galaxy. It's almost like a Hellbop thing. If they kill themselves at like this perfect time,
wow,
that they're gonna like ascend to like the Satan galaxy and meet the devil.
Speaking of suicide pacts, real quick, Ryan and I have a suicide pact, which is when we get old, or when death looms upon us, we're going to take a bunch of heroin and go out feeling fuzzy.
Yeah, then we're going to go to the Satan galaxy and meet the devil.
Yeah, just like we've always planned.
We're going to live forever with Satan. Lucifer.
But in all honesty, I don't want to live life without you. That would be terrible. Okay, sorry. What's the second story that they talked about?
Oh, yeah. Aaron, the other host, Aaron, they take turns, I guess. So
that's good.
She told a story about Rod Farrell. He's a 16-year-old that believed that he was a 500-year-old vampire. And he murdered his girlfriend's parents.
Oh.
But it's crazy. This kid's kind of fucked up. He's like
Kinda,
yeah. His mom thought she was like a vampire. She had him when she was 16.
Oh, no wonder. They're
so
probably
she raised him to be a vampire.
Yeah.
So he's completely like fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But his girlfriend was like 15. He's 16, and like she was like she wrote him a letter or something saying like, oh, I wish someone would kill my parents, but like she was just being like teenage angsty.
Right. Everybody wishes that when they're 15.
Yeah, everybody thinks that shit. They don't mean it. She didn't really mean it, and he actually went and did it with like bashed her parents' brains out with like a crowbar.
Wow. You know, I'm surprised that I never heard of that before. I listened to tons of true crime podcasts.
But why don't you use your vampire strength or like your
bite
or their teeth? Or
bite their fucking necks.
Why do you need a crowbar?
I know. That's not a normal vampire weapon.
Yeah, maybe he was on his way up there. Maybe the sun drained his powers. So
could be. Yeah. Well, you know, Van Helsing
he's
famously
He's
carried.
500 years old, so
that's true. And Van Helsing famously carried a crowbar.
Oh yeah,
that's probably why. That makes sense.
His weapon of choice was a cross crowbar.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I understand now. Remember the movie The Crow?
Oh yeah.
There we go. Goth.
No, but all jokes aside, that's pretty fucked up. Like, I feel bad for that family and that girl for dating a fucking weirdo vampire guy.
I like the fact that
we all make mistakes, but it's not mistakes that land us all in jail, you know?
Right. Especially when we're young, but that's like over the top. I do like how they have a comedic spin on it. I'm excited to check that out.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Sword and Scale, but really fucked up. The next one's called Proof. It's a weird and surprisingly funny backstories about food and drink. It's hosted by Bridget Lancaster. I'm sorry, this was called Welcome to the Biodome. Welcome to the Biodome. Welcome to the
It was starring Pauly Shore.
Starring Pauly Shore and who was the other guy?
I don't know.
Can't remember. Welcome to the Microbiome. It's about probiotics and if they really work. You know, it's like so basically like probiotics will only work if it's like alive. If it's alive, you know. So like shit like yogurt has like live culture in it, and like fucking kombucha has like SCOBY in it. It's a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, so it has to be alive. So all them pills like acidophilus and all that, they really don't work. You know, it's like snake oil. So
yeah, if you have acidophilus, throw that shit out and go ahead and have alive enzymes to keep your gut nice and happy.
Yeah, drink some kombucha or eat some yogurt, man.
I just bought us kombucha.
Or get some kimchi, you know.
Ew. I don't know. People love it. I don't understand why.
I'm not a fan of kimchi, or some sauerkraut. I don't know. That's not good either. But.
Well, that's interesting. I don't have time to check out podcasts because I've been working so much, and I have to talk to people all the fucking time, all day. So my scope is limited. Oh yeah, I already told you guys that. Which leads into my segment, which is I am reviewing podcast previews because they're only 2 minutes long. So I have time to let you know what's coming down the pike.
Why don't you call it podcast preview review?
Oh, yeah. Podcast preview review. Just
podcast
like my boy.
Preview review podcast.
Yeah, just like my boy at Podcast Reviews Podcast. The dude, he reviews his own iTunes reviews. So check him out. I love him. Anyway.
I'm going to open this thing real quick.
Yeah, do it. I'm going to vape, but I'm going to keep talking.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Wait, no. This is my segment. I'll vape after the fact. We're keeping this loose. So.
Loosey goosey.
There are 3 new podcasts that are coming out that I noticed. One is called Why Am I Telling You This? With Bill Clinton and Chelsea Clinton, which really made my heart sink because I'm like, oh, if they're getting into the podcast game, what does that mean for us DIY, podcasters? But who cares? So I just saw it and I'm like, I don't know about it, but actually I shouldn't even be talking about this because you listened to the preview.
Yeah, I actually listened to the preview and it's like, why am I telling you this? It's like then they're like, why did you? It's like someone asking Bill Clinton, like,
why did you name the podcast? Why am I telling you this?
Yeah, and then it cuts to him like saying it in like 10 different speeches. He kept going like, why am I telling you this? Because of this. That's how it's kind of like a speech style. So.
Oh, okay. Like a rhetorical question that he answers.
That he answers. He gave himself and he answered.
Got it. Well, I'll check it out and review it. It's worth it.
Should be interesting.
There are two classic rock two classic rock podcasts coming out. This is really funny. I don't know, but it's good timing. Anyway, Robert Plant, the lead singer of Led Zeppelin, is coming out with his own podcast. I forget the name of it, but shit, just type in Robert Plant and there you go. So he talks about the ups and downs of being in Led Zeppelin. Oh, I forgot my theme song. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We got it. That's pretty funny. We were trying to figure out like Led Zeppelin songs on our guitar like earlier.
Yeah, Ryan can play them all except for one song, and I can only play one song, and here it is.
Yeah, it's the one I don't know.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be plugged in.
Turn the amp on.
Fuck. So I guess you guys can probably tell. As we wind on down the road, so it's on in my soul. Okay.
All right, that's
Maybe I can't play it.
wow.
So Robert Plant. Here we go.
Yikes.
And then the other one is fucking what's his name from Pink Floyd. I ain't playing no Pink Floyd songs. Yeah, David Gilmour.
I can play that. Mother they'll think they'll drop the bomb. Mother they'll think they'll break my balls. That might be Roger Waters. Never mind.
Yeah. So who's coming out with who's coming out with a podcast next from Great Britain in the 60s and 70s? I'll tell you what, it's going to be Pete Townsend.
Maybe Roger Daltrey, man.
No, it's going to be Pete Townsend because he has a lot to say about loving on little children.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He's a fucking pedophile.
Gross.
Great guitarist, great musician, pedophile. Okay, that's it for my segment.
Man, way to ruin the Who for me.
And not to be confused with pedophiles. That's what we are. We're obsessed with podcasts.
Yeah.
We're not pedophiles.
And little kids.
Kids are disgusting.
Except for the real little ones.
What?
They're the best.
Ew. Shut the fuck up.
I'm just kidding. All right. So, what, you got a nay?
No, don't. I don't. I'm trying to keep positive this week.
Oh, okay. I got a nay. It's called Sleepwalkers. It's a show about AI. It's hosted by Oz Wilshon and Kara Price. The episode I listed was called Truth to Power. It's about deep fakes and AI, like doctored videos. You know, it's not a bad episode, but I'm just saying, like, Benjamin Walker's Theory of Everything did a whole, like, 6 or 7 part series, like, on that shit.
A year ago.
Like a year ago. It's just nothing new, but I don't know.
Well, you've been touting it. You know, it's been in your top.
It's a good show, yeah.
So this one was just disappointing.
Yeah, it's like, because like, you're not going to go deeper than Benjamin Walker.
Nah.
Like 8 episodes.
By the way, Benjamin Walker, Theory of Everything, he's been around for years, so it's not like he stole his podcast title from the movie about Stephen Hawking.
It used to just be called Theory of Everything, and then that movie came out, and it had to be like called Benjamin Walker. They had to change it to Benjamin Walker's Theory of Everything.
Thank you.
Kind of sucked, but
yeah, he's a shit. We
really
saw
good.
him live.
Yeah, he's one of the first podcasters, man. He's right up there in the beginning. He convinced Roman Mars to do a podcast.
Yeah, and Roman Mars is great. 99 PI. We're always talking about them.
Radiotopia.
That's right. We saw all the Radiotopia peeps. Anyway, special shout out time.
You got a shout out?
I actually do. My special shout out is, oh my God, who the fuck is it? You start. I'll think of it.
Well, mine's The Shrink Next Door. It's the true, kind of like a true crime podcast, I guess. It's hosted by Joe Nacira. The episode was called The Familia. It's about a shrink named Ike manipulating like all his patients. I thought it was just one guy, but like in this one, you find out that like he's manipulating like everybody.
Yeah, a lot of his patients are under his spell, and he hangs out with his patients, which
insane,
is
dude.
Totally not cool for a psychiatrist or a psychologist.
Yeah, he's just like raging parties and like
just
it's
ruining
bizarre,
people's lives.
It's really weird.
It's so weird. That's a great one.
Can't get enough of it. It's so fucked up. Okay, so you got your shout out?
You know, I don't even have my notes in here. I felt like it was more important to bring in my guitar and my amp so I could play Stairway to Heaven really shittily.
Well, you could shout something out. Shout anything out.
Shout anything out.
Banana.
Shout at the devil. No, that's legit. You can't put me on the spot.
Cucumber.
5. I give this episode a PODSMASH 11 helicopters and 12 roller skates.
I'd like to give a shout out to broccoli.
Broccoli. It makes you fart.
It's like little tiny hand grenades in your stomach. Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Gotta love it.
Let's have broccoli for dinner.
Shout out to ice cream.
Oh,
it's
wait.
like eating a bowl of glass.
I do have a special shout out. And it's a podcast recommendation that came from Ryan's sister, Colin. She's been listening to this podcast called Crimes of Passion. And this one particular story that she was telling us about was this woman who got acid thrown in her face by a man who was completely infatuated with her and in love with her. And he was like, well, if I can't have you, no one can. So through acid in her face, and then like she ended up with him.
She went blind too.
Yeah, she went blind. I don't know. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm going to, but that was a really good. It sounds fucked up. So thank you, Colin.
Well,
check it out.
She ended up marrying him because like I think he like disfigured her. So like she's like, who's gonna love me now? But
right.
I know this guy loves it.
I guess we'll have to listen to it to find out the motivations.
So someone's getting acid thrown in their face for Christmas, deal.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm too pretty. I'm too symmetrical.
Yeah. You gotta burn those eyes.
Yeah. So let's wrap this up. I can't thank you guys enough for sticking with us and supporting the Blow Jam and the PODSMASH. So give us a call at our Blow Jam headquarters tip line. We're not getting very many calls, if any. We would love to hear from you. If you're too shy, then that's fine. Anyway, the number is 607-296-7297. Also, follow us on the social medias. You can legit just type in Blowjam in Google, and you'll get a bunch of good stuff. Also, we have that show coming up next Sunday, June 9th at 3 p.m. at Subterranea, the best underground venue in Binghamton, which it's so underground you will have to message me or Ryan for the address.
If you don't know where it is, we're not telling you.
No, that's the opposite.
You will tell
if
them.
You don't know where it is, ask me and I'll tell you.
Okay, we'll tell you.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, good episode, Buggy, and thanks again. We'll see you next week.